From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We are still holding on to dry conditions across mid-Michigan this evening. However, notice on satellite and radar, we have added in some cloud cover across the area. A lot more of that cloud cover to our west, which means these mostly cloudy conditions will continue not only overnight tonight, but also as we go throughout our day tomorrow as well. We're at 70 degrees here in Lansing, 71 our current temperature in Jackson and Mason. As we go throughout the next 12 hours, we are staying dry. Overnight lows will be cooling down into the upper 40s to low 50s. We not only have some above average high temperatures to talk about, maybe some record-breaking highs as well. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Right now at 5:30, a woman accused of intentionally running into nearly a dozen people with her car with her own children inside that vehicle. Plus, search and rescue efforts continue tonight to find more than 90 students trapped in the rubble of a collapsed school. And it's goodbye to the world-renowned conservationist Jane Goodall. Those stories and a lot more, and all in the first 6 minutes. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start that clock. And we begin in Macomb County, where a 30-year-old woman from Lake Orion faces 18 felony charges. Prosecutors say she used a Jeep to run down at least 11 people in 4 cities, including a police officer. Now, they say Rachel Rickleff did this last Friday night with her 6-year-old daughter in the Jeep the whole time. Her 12-year-old son was also in the Jeep, but officials say he was able to get out at one point. She's accused of hitting people walking, people on bicycles, and 2 police cars. Officials say they arrested Rickleff in a Walmart parking lot in Warren. Her daughter was not physically injured. Moving to Ottawa County, prosecutors have charged a woman with killing her husband. Investigators say 49-year-old Michelle Matos Collin killed 52-year-old Eliezer Montano on Thursday. She is now in jail on a $1 million bond. The Ottawa County Sheriff's Office has not said what might have led up to that deadly shooting. In a federal court in Detroit, a man who threatened to attack people at a rally for President Donald Trump in Grand Rapids is now spending 2.5 years in prison. Isaac Sissel pleaded guilty in April to 1 count of transmitting threats in interstate commerce. Prosecutors say he claimed to have an AR-15 gun and created Reddit accounts under the names Shoot Up Trump Rally and Planning to Kill Trump. That was less than a week before the president's November rally in Grand Rapids. U.S. attorneys called the 26-year-old suspect a violent extremist. Well, moving now to New York City, an explosion at an apartment building caused a 20-story brick chimney to collapse today. Officials say there were no reported injuries, but tons of debris covered the ground below. Investigators are trying to find out why there was an explosion, including the possibility of a gas leak. Out in Colorado, a plane made an emergency landing on a state highway this morning, closing several lanes. Fire officials say they first received calls about a small airplane that had crashed and was leaking fluid. They say 3 people were on board during the crash, but they all walked away without any injuries. And another plane, this one in California, joined the evening commute on I-15 after experiencing mechanical issues. The emergency landing happened on Monday. Fire officials there say no one was hurt and the plane was eventually towed off the freeway. Well, making global news, the Oktoberfest celebration in Germany closed down for several hours today because of a bomb threat that followed an explosion in another part of Munich. Officials sent more than 500 officers to sweep the festival grounds for explosives, and Oktoberfest reopened after nothing was found. This morning, there was an explosion at a residential building in the city. The suspect in that explosion died, and police say that person wrote a note with threats directed at the festival. Investigators say the suspect's actions were related to a domestic incident. Rescue workers in Indonesia are still trying to find students in the rubble of a collapsed school building. The Islamic boarding school came down on Monday during afternoon prayers. At least 3 students have died, about 100 people are injured, and there are still 91 students unaccounted for. Rescuers are running oxygen, water, and food through narrow gaps to try to help those still trapped in the debris and keep them alive. In Ukraine, a nuclear power plant captured by invading Russian forces has gone without external electrical power for more than a week. The Zaporizhia nuclear power plant needs electricity to cool its 6 inactive reactors and spent fuel. Emergency generators are keeping the systems running right now. The reactors, though, can overheat, starting fires and releasing radiation into the air. The International Atomic Energy Agency says the power plant must have reliable external power soon. Back in the U.S. now, U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth announced on social media last week that the soldiers who carried out the Wounded Knee Massacre in 1890 will not have their military honors taken away. About 250 men, women, and children were killed by U.S. soldiers on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. Yesterday, an official with the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe said, quote, "There is nothing Hegseth can do to rewrite the truth of that day." New today from California, renowned conservationist Jane Goodall has died. She was 91. She was on a speaking tour in California at the time. While living among chimpanzees in Africa, Goodall documented the animals using tools and doing other activities and noted their distinct personalities. She spent her later years as an educator, an advocate for humanitarian causes and the natural world. The United States Postal Service is releasing a commemorative stamp featuring the late Jimmy Carter. The stamp commemorates the life and legacy of the 39th president. Today would have been his 101st birthday. A dedication ceremony for the stamp was held earlier today at the Carter Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Delivery app DoorDash is unveiling a new service robot. It's calling it Dot. The company says the bot is capable of navigating bike lanes, roads, and sidewalks. It can also reach speeds of 20 miles per hour while carrying up to 30 pounds. DoorDash says Dot will start making deliveries in an early access program in 2 Arizona cities. And Alaska's biggest brown bear has finally been crowned following the fierce online competition known as Fat Bear Week. Bear 32, appropriately named Chunk, collected nearly 100,000 votes, beating out 12 other bears at Katmai National Park and Preserve. Despite a broken jaw, organizers say the two-time runner-up bulked up to an estimated 1,200 pounds, feasting on salmon ahead of the winter hibernation.
People were worried that he would die, and he's still so fat. It's just amazing that he was able to win this championship with that type of injury.
Pleasantly plump, yes. Bears put on fat in order to survive the winter and emerge in the spring. Overall, more than 1.5 million people registered, Kendall, to vote this year for their favorite bulked up bear.
Oh, well, congratulations to Chunk there.
Chunk, I love the name. I wish it could be celebrated if I put on the pounds in the winter, you know?
I wish
that could be a good
like, why
thing.
can't we say, like, hey, you know, like Chunk, he's still fat. That's a good thing. All right, let's just call it a win-win.
Yeah. Loving that salmon, though. There
Yeah.
you go, Kendall.
Well, Siobhan, we've been loving these above average high temperatures, right?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not just going to be above average. Potentially, we will tie or either break a record this weekend.
Wow.